welcome back everyone to another episode of Doom Patrol. Today's episode is Season 1, Episode 3. It's called Puppet Patrol. Obviously, I love the show. Some interesting discussion in the last video. I always encourage discussions in the video comments, and yeah, I know there are some disagreements with some of my opinions, but I stand by them. They're just opinions, so I really don't care at the end of the day. But yeah, no, I really enjoy the show. Can't wait to see where it goes. One thing that I will say that's really interesting is that the trailer that they showed, like a good 90% of it has already been in the first two episodes, so there's only a little bit that they've shown that we haven't seen yet, which means, you know, they didn't spoil anything, which is great because, you know, this could go anywhere really. Whereas with Titans, it was very, it wasn't spoilerish so much, it was just, from the beginning, it was very much, we knew we were going to get Trigon. Like, it was pretty obvious throughout the whole season, where it was going. But with with Doom Patrol, it's you know, maybe it's just my unfamiliarity with the source material, but it's not really going in any direction that I would predict, I guess, besides them teaming up and trying to find the Chief and Mr. Nobody. You know, other than that, I really don't, you know, I don't know what his powers are, so I can't really say like, oh, they're gonna do this and this gonna happen, or you know, as far as like the characters, you know, it's very interesting to me. So yeah, without further ado, let's get into this. I've waited long enough. One 800 saw him. Here's Hammerhead.
Grid. Authenticate footage.
I was gonna say, I don't think
It
the
hasn't been
chemical
tampered with or
explosion would have
edited.
been like that. What the heck? He said, fuck your ground rules.
Give me a minute to think about this, at least until after tomorrow. It's our big day.
Not gonna have that much time.
Fine.
I need to take notes. I have things to talk about from last episode still.
Morning, dipshit.
Of course, Rita has like 4 bags. They're using the bus.
It's this left. Hurry, I know where I'm going.
This is great.
Who has the map?
Yes.
Diapers.
Hey, Grandma. Grandma's in town.
I love this.
Trust. Turn left over
God.
The pedal on the right there.
I'm gonna kill myself!
Jane,
Jenny. This show is amazing.
Impressive leadership skills there, Batman. Way to rally the team. Justice League 2020!
Can't you fix it? Are they pushing it really? She just wanted a husband that loved her. I feel like it's a lie.
Hey.
Damn it, Larry. He's so squished over there. Poor Larry. I want him to reconnect with her, but I also feel like it's kind of too late. I don't know if he has the chin, you know.
So boring.
Teleporter.
You could have teleported us all along.
It was Flit.
Hey,
Whose mess is this?
Hey, yourself.
Bus will be here any minute.
Whose man's is this?
I was saving up for the Morden, but I just couldn't wait.
Oh.
The Morden?
So, I'm getting magnet feet instead.
Why?
What?
So I could walk up walls.
What? What is this show? Oh god. Here's that evil scientist that was in the first episode.
Of the human body. As a young doctor,
3
I tried
hours.
to implement some of my unique ideas. They called me a monster,
What the heck?
No,
a psychopath.
they couldn't.
But then the war broke out,
Oh,
and suddenly my ideas didn't seem so funny
He said, oh.
not in the brochure, but okay.
What?
He said, wait a minute, there's Nazis. So he did create Mr. Nobody in a sense.
Sadly, we no longer accept group bombs.
My
I
god.
don't know about you guys, but I don't need upgrades from a Nazi fuckhead, so let's just shag ass out of here.
Not yet.
Eh.
Oh. Do you have an alternative form of payment?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Is Steve gonna be their new arch enemy? Magnet feet. So he is a radiator.
We shouldn't be afraid to admit that we deserve better than this.
Cheryl, please. Please don't do this to me. I'm begging you.
I'm sorry. I hope that you recover from this one day, Larry, and
You're right. It is over.
CW Charms
This
on the
whole thing's
back.
gone to hell.
Trying to see what the front
All
cover is.
because I was trying to prove.
Pleased to make your acquaintance.
Is he still alive? Is he the brain?
Else, don't you? The guy who shot your Nazi ass. 10 times the scientist you'll ever.
Sorry,
The
Cliff,
German
but
army.
we can't allow you to leave.
Kill the host. That's how I do. Cliff just like. Damn. Yes. Oh my god. Jesus Christ.
Nazi fucks.
Yes. I love Silver Tongue.
You want to fuck with me?
Ah! Oh my god! Fuck you.
Auf Wiedersehen, motherfucker.
Yeah! What happened to Steve? That's what I want to know.
Uh-huh.
Time to go home.
Steve? It is him!
Was I supposed to be in here so long?
Oh god. Celery? It's Swamp Thing! No. What the fuck?
Cool.
I was gonna eat him for a second. Well, so this show continues to impress. Damn. Yeah, the end was I was just taking it in, so but oh my god, okay. So I took a couple of notes. Before we get into this episode, really, some things from last episode that I didn't touch on in the comments or anything. Rita. So when she was in the donkey and she was having the visions and stuff, Mr. Nobody was saying like he knew them each like more than they know themselves or whatever, and there was like a baby crying. I wonder, worst case scenario, I go straight there because I feel like the show will go there. So I just put Rita miscarriage. I think obviously she had some sort of child, or maybe she didn't have a child, and maybe that's what the trauma is. But yeah, I think there's some sort of she had some sort of kid or something. You know, something went wrong with her kid or something. I think that would probably fit in most with her character. You know, from like a logical standpoint, like that would be the most traumatic thing. Is you know, she's very obsessed with beauty and stuff. So maybe because of her powers, her child is deformed, and that is why she was all afraid. Yeah, yeah, sorry. I'm I'm splicing my words together. Basically what I'm saying is, because in the first episode we saw that she was very judgmental about the director whose you know his arm was he was missing an arm, amputated or something. She was, you know, and we know that she's very obsessed with her appearance, being beautiful and stuff like that. So if she had a child that was malformed in some way, that could probably be, you know, a very sore subject for her. And so that was pretty much all my thoughts on that. We're probably gonna get that maybe next episode even. These last couple episodes have been about Larry more since he wasn't in the first one. And so I think we might get a Rita episode next one. The other thing was the painting right at the end, when not Crazy Jane, the Hangman's daughter was painting. I think she was, I can't take credit for this, but the first person that I saw that, you know, said something about this was Legend of Podcasting. Go check them out if you haven't subscribed to them yet. They're amazing. But they pointed out that the picture was Cyborg, which I saw that it was Cyborg holding Silas, his father. It was a guy in a white lab coat, and so if we go back earlier in that episode when Jane she just was freshly out of the donkey, and she was going between her different personalities, you know, she was saying dead in his arms, over and over again. And then at the end of the episode, she draws a picture of Cyborg holding his father dead in his arms. So is that a prediction of the future? Is you know, Silas gonna die this season? So that's all from last episode. This episode, again, a lot of focus on Larry, which is nice, but you know, it really shows that these people are far from perfect. You know, even Cliff, who is arguably the emotional sort of heart and like the you know, out of the four, excluding Cyborg basically, because Cyborg is the most heroic. He is, you know, he has his own problems because he is kind of in that teenage state where he wants to get separated from his father, you know, do his own thing. But he, you know, for the most part, you know, as far as like alignments go, he's kind of like he's very much a lawful kind of character. So, you know, he's a stark contrast from the rest of the characters, which are all very much chaotic. They're very self-centered. But my point was, Larry, you know, he's not a good guy. Like, you know, it's, you know, I don't know where I saw this, but people have mentioned that it's kind of karmic, the sort of powers that these people have and the sort of things that have happened to them. It's very karmic. Like I said with Rita already, she's a very vain, self-centered person appearance-wise, and her ability is that she is malformed. You know, some entity has created her to be more elastic and stuff like that. With Larry, he's a two-timer. He's cheating, you know, so he's forced to live with another person inside of him, and he's, you know, it's weird. You know, these people, it's kind of karmic, and you know, they get what they deserve, kind of thing. But yeah, his wife, you know, I understand that they're in the times that they were in. it was a necessity to get married and all that stuff. But I'm just glad that they didn't go down the way of, they're not making him perfect. I really like that they are making these characters flawed, and they're showing that in all its, all, they're showing all their imperfections. They're not making these people glossy and all that stuff. These people are bad. Like, these people are doing wrong things, and we're here to watch them grow and learn from that, which is amazing. Yeah, like with him at the end, I think his wife was in the rights to break up with him, to divorce him, and to do all that stuff. It was understandable. But I was surprised that his boyfriend was still sticking around with him. I kind of felt in the right. I was like, yeah, you should break up with him. Like, it's a lot of political stuff. I understand that they had to, live these double lives back in the 50s and 60s. I can't remember what decade he's from, but back in the day, it wasn't acceptable and all that stuff. I get it. I mean, even now, it's there's still a level of subterfuge in being LGBT. I get it. It's complicated. But yeah, I think it's an interesting storyline. Just last thing about Larry. So in the last episode, in his nightmare vision, we saw his boyfriend. I can't remember the name of his boyfriend, unfortunately. I think it's John. But we saw him, all radioactive and stuff in the back seat of that jet that they were flying. So I think, we're gonna learn more about the fact that John does stick around, even though he just told him to leave him alone and all that stuff. And so yeah, we've devoted enough of this episode to Larry. I'll leave it at that. Shoot, my last note was about Larry. I'm not even joking. That's my last note. Interdimensional powers. So okay. People have been telling me in the comments about Larry a bit more, and about Negative Man, the sort of entity within him, a little bit. But I don't want to know everything about it. Basically, if I missed something from this episode, feel free to correct me, but don't spoil anything more than the show has shown us. So this is what I'm getting so far from the show, is that there is some sort of possibly radioactive creature inside of him, like another entity. And that is why, during the hospital scene, they're showing that he was radioactive. Everyone was, they said that he was like super radioactive and all that stuff. That's why they quarantined him. Somehow the bandages contain that radioactivity. But we also kind of know that he's an interdimensional being of some sort, because once the Fuchtopians, I don't know what they're called, once they explain that the process was some sort of like Mr. Nobody's thing was some sort of interdimensional thing, Larry jumped up to go investigate, because he knew it was related to him somehow. So I don't know. Again, correct me if I'm wrong, but it sounds like this being inside of him is some sort of interdimensional being as well, possibly related to Mr. Nobody in that sense. Speaking of Mr. Nobody, no appearances physically from him, but I was mainly just going to ask, is he sort of like a fourth world character, like Mr. Mxyzptlk, or I can't think of the other ones, but they're sort of outside of the regular universe, or is he related to those kinds of characters at all? Again, this might be spoilers, but I was just curious because, again, I watched some of the Arrowverse shows. I haven't watched I actually haven't watched in 2 years, but the Supergirl episode with Mr. Mxyzptlk, and then there was also the Music Meister, and they were both kind of hinted at being these fourth world, like extra dimensional creatures. And so I just wonder if he is also one of them, because he's obviously got fourth wall breaking powers. Yeah. I don't know. Let's see. Jane Jane's doing great. She's really growing on me. The first episode I wasn't really sold on her yet. The second episode she was growing, and then this episode she's, I'm starting to like her a lot. And the sort of ethical, not ethical really, but the tough topic about mental illness, and obviously we don't know too much about how she came to be, but from her from her perspective, the story is that scientists experimented on her, which had a dual purpose of creating personalities while also giving her superpowers. So I don't know. I'm just it's an interesting thing about like the doctor was saying, the parallel between him and her, sort of having control. Are you really in control if you're just one of many? All that stuff. So I'm excited to see if they delve into that, how they delve into that. Because jumping to the other ship here, I think they're doing that. They were doing that pretty well in Iron Fist season 2 with Typhoid Mary. The sort of alters and alternate personalities, and which one is I can't remember the name, the original, the base, and which one is the alters. And so I wonder if they're gonna, well, they probably will explore that here with Jane. Yeah, which is interesting. Cliff with his his daughter. I don't know. Like I said, it's kind of too little too late, I feel like. It's been 30, 40 years. I'm sure she'll recognize his voice, but like, she's already grown up. I don't know. I want the best for them. I really do. I want the best for them. So I hope it works out in the end of the season, that he can contact her and they can all, reconcile and all that stuff. But I don't know. The show could do something bad. Also with him, the sort of bloodshed. He had a very Beast Boy moment from Titan season 1, where he killed for the first time. He just went like psycho switch immediately. And so we're obviously going to explore that here, based on the way that he was, immediately afterwards on the plane, all that stuff. So I really appreciate that. With Jane, like she went to murder right away, and that's fine because it's in character. Like, her personalities, maybe because she respects her personalities, that she understands that some of them are violent, some of them are not. And so that was self-defense and all that stuff. Like, she doesn't have this internal struggle, but with Cliff we do, because obviously he is the struggle of robot versus man. Maybe he was a violent person in life, obviously, when we showed that, in the first episode when he started beating up his, whatever, the pit stop guy, he was cheating on his wife or whatever. That was very violent. So it's not foreign to him, but it is also disturbing. It's disturbing stuff that he did. So, obviously we're going to visit that. I'm done talking. Lots of interesting stuff this episode. Lots of hilarious stuff. Steve, Steve's my new favorite character. I love him. Yeah. I don't know. He's obviously, so I've seen a little bit, like I said, I read on the news sections of DC Universe, so I read a little bit about how there's like this cult of Dada, or like the Dada Patrol or something. Like, basically, there's like an evil legion that Mr. Nobody's on, and then there's a bunch of other supervillains, obviously, that fight the Doom Patrol. So I wonder if this is sort of setting up that there are these enemies out there that are all going to combine, maybe like a season 2 kind of thing, maybe just down the road for this season, who knows. Yeah, okay, I think that's it. Feel free to post in the comments, tell me about anything I missed, anything interesting to you guys, anything that I said that you wanted to comment on. I would love to talk to you guys about this episode. I think it's a great show, like I said. Can't wait for next week. Love it, love it, love it. Thanks for watching. I'll see you guys next time.